Alright, today we're working with a 2005 Ford Powerstroke F350. We're gonna go put a dump bed on it. Owner brought it to me this way. Kind of pre-set up already. I'm gonna have to put some hinges on the back. Clean all this up. Obviously it's kind of a mess right now. Just right here, I'm gonna actually move forward to the next set of holes. Right here, factory DOT standards, you gotta bolt on, can't just re-weld this to the frame. This piece right here, this unit, gonna be the scissor lift mechanism, and it's a hydraulic ram, and that will actually be sitting in there with these prongs facing the back side, and it sits just like it is. This is the top, this is the bottom, and when it opens up, basically just like this. So when it's all the way up, you got that right there, lifted, good to go. So let me get going on this, and I'll record some more footage here in a minute. Welcome back, YouTube. We're gonna putting this bed on, flatbed, 2005 F350. The guy wants a hydraulic dump, which we have right here, and it's actually going to mount just like that. It drops in right here. But on the other hand, we got a distance from here to, I've already measured it here. So this cross member here is going to have to actually move this way about a foot. Re-drill all of our holes. I've already got these rivets out here, all four on bottom, top. These are what they look like before I drilled them out in 3 stages. Kind of a pain in the butt. This side's fully broke loose already. As you can see, we ground the top of those, and on the bottom side I had to drill them. Let's take a gander at this real quick. Here's, for example, what I'm doing with the rivets. Get them removed, and when we put them back together, we'll drill new holes, bolt them in with new hardware. And as far as the bed, we're gonna have to play with that a little bit too. Make rails, make sure this thing's gonna hold this kind of weight with a lot of flex on the frame. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the top sides of the frame. I know these have these little setups on them already. I've got some 3/8 angle iron. Go ahead and mount on that too. Have our pile of steel. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. I'll get down a little bit more, and I'll get the next video on the way in just a minute. Alright, back at it. We got our cross member moved. I remarked new holes, drill holes there, top and bottom. Here's the existing old holes right here. This whole piece slid forward. We've already bolted. You can't really see it too great. Tip of the finger. There we go. Yeah, that's all set up now. That should accommodate the size of the ram. So let me get this thing bolted up. We're gonna get some angle welded on. I'll keep making a video as we go. Alright, back at it. Got one side about ready to go. We'll drill on a couple pilot holes. I'm gonna put bolts through them to mount this to the frame. And the piece that the lift will be sitting on, but going right about here, but I stopped right here because of the bolts. I'll probably put a small tab in right here to bring the height flush with this metal. If you look at it, I wanted to be above the bolt heads. Put a couple slight tacks just to hold it in place while I did all this, and some C-clamps. There's the other side with nothing on it yet, so you can see the example. Alright, now we're back at it. V-notched in the metal here. Gave it a quick weld, grind, so it'd have a flat surface. Got some bolts in it. Popped a couple holes in to match the frame holes. A couple good tacks. It'll be just above these bolts. So now we're gonna go ahead and slap some paint on it. I think I'm gonna have to move this exhaust about an inch that way to clear the ram for the hydraulic lift. Other than that, give me a second here and I'll get some more footage going for you. Alright, back at it. We got all our mounting in, all our bolt hardware, 1/2 inch. We got to put a plate to space this up. Notice last second that this one had a plate. Brings it up 1/4 inch from what it actually is. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that this thing is trued up square. And after everything's set up, we're going to go ahead and get our hydraulic pump probably somewhere down here in that general area. Maybe build a small metal box that can be opened so it won't be stolen. And yeah, I'll keep making this video. Bear with me. I'd record the whole time, but I'm sure you guys wouldn't want to watch some long, boring, dramatic video with a bright yellow banana looking piece of metal. So here we go. Alright, here we go. I got the next step complete. Well, not complete. Got a temporary bar holding it in place to get us the height that we need for getting this up under between the rails. Next step, we'll be getting these ends in on the full hinge setup on the insides of the rails. We're going to weld some reinforcement in there. These have been hacked a few times, I'd say, but we could still make them work. But overall, yeah, we're in set, ready to put those, ready to get our next step going. And the way that is designed, it tucks down in there. Sorry about the light. Hold on a second. There we go. And overall, that's what we end up with. And let me pause this. We'll get some more done. I'll get you some more footage. Alright, back at it. Put a simple little bracket in there in the center of the screen there. That new black bracket there by the sway bar. Supports the hoist when it's in a rested position. Nothing too fancy. Metal's pretty rough actually. That's why it's so pitted in the picture there. So what we did was just went on the top of the frame rails, something simple. I did end up moving the exhaust over towards the frame a little bit, bending these brackets, re-welding the back ones, and loosening and retacking that as well. Other than that, we got her pretty centered. I'm going to go ahead and try to get these back hinges set up now for the back where the bed will actually tilt. We're going to weld them on the frame first. That way, when I go to drop the box on, that I can have the angle and everything else that I want to be compatible with what we are working with on the truck. The truck's got to be first in this case. But, we got a pretty close clearance on that exhaust, not even quite a 1/2 inch. So if it does rattle, I'm going to have to give the bracket a slight bend, but that should correct any issue we got. Yeah, a little bit overspray, my bad. That'd be us. Pretty much next step is ready. Alright, back at our next part of the video. We got our bed dropped on. It's only half the battle. Our ram hasn't been connected yet. Kind of working with some crappy hinges right out the gate on this one, but we made do with them. Mounted up there with some 3/8 angle. They're just tacked right now. This is going to be for a future hitch. It's going to have to be pretty low. We got everything in, but I am going to have to play with this a little bit up here. Obviously, we got a temporary height on that. The ram ain't hooked up yet there. We got a little bit of clearance. About 3 inches all the way. These side pieces will actually clear the cab when it comes up. We're going to get some sideboards on. Last thing, lighting, trailer hitch. But, there you go. take another video when I get a little farther on this. Alright, back at it. We got our pump mounted. Just a simple little L bracket. Made a bolt to the frame. 2 bolts grounded well. We're going to run our hose from here through that hole right there into the ram. Well, it goes underneath right there in the middle. And we got our hinges the rest of the way welded. Nice long beads. Tail plate on here. Start setting up the receiver. Alright, here we go. We went ahead and mounted everything, got the ram hooked up, welded to the inside of these beams, the I-beams. This is just a spacer to support weight. We're going to clean up that edge. A little extra. We got the hitch mounted. We're going to go ahead and rewire everything to accommodate the plug for a 8 flat round. Gas tank kind of set up. I think we're going to change the angle. Here's a good view of the other side. So far so good. Everything mounted up. I don't know why you can see that. There we go. And weld the back side, do a bunch of touch-up welding. Got these I-beams here, which touch right there. They land right on the frame. Back ones too, right there in the middle of the screen. Other than that, we're going along pretty good. We're going to wire up the switch to the pump over there. It's on the back side of that frame. Got our hose. We're going to actually replace that with a brand new one. This one's kind of rigged together just to make it go up for now. Little test run. Yeah, there you go. We're at 75% of the way here. A bunch of touch-up welding. Got our new lights on. We're going to put a triple light right here. Since it's more than 5 feet wide, you got to have 3 light in the middle for marker. Put all new marker lights on, front, back corners. In that corner, you go with an amber light. Yeah. I'll go ahead and pause this. We're going to go ahead and keep going, and I'll get some more video footage in just a minute. And that's just a simple bracket there for the pump. Don't mind the zip ties, this is temporary just to get it powered up. We're going to mount a switch somewhere back here too as well for the pump dump and lift. Yeah, there you go. Alright, we're back at it. Just got everything kind of final. Put a couple of stoppers on the rails here to keep it from going back and forth. Everything's pretty much welded in now. It's got about every foot, it's got about a 3-inch weld. And then everything, top of the rails. Got it all set up now. Good to glow. Barely clearing the exhaust right there. So looking good. Got to wire the pump. Alright, this is the last video. I'm going to go ahead and let the owner complete the rest of this. Built all our rails, set up everything. Last few touches with wiring, marker lights, etc. There's a pump and ram once again. A few little touch-ups. Let the owner wrap up. For example, putting the switch on. But, there's our ram going. And it does go pretty good, pretty high. And that's where this little tank is actually going to have to be swapped out to a bigger one. The gurgling sounds where it runs out of fluid. So he's aware of it. That's what we end up with. And hope you enjoyed. Any little simple questions or anything I might be able to answer for you guys, just let me know. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright, last piece of our video. Had a simple locking mechanism. Kind of holds it flush. The latch. Lock in the rear here. And our little T-handle, just twist. And this piece slides upward. 2 places on the frame. Something decent. Where my hinges are set up, actually, where it comes all the way out here to all the way in there. Simple little bracing and whatnot hinge setup. Turned out alright for a little job. Just trying to keep it simple. I wasn't really expecting to do this piece on this truck actually, but we did. And I'm going to have the owner change out the reservoir later. This ram only goes about 50-60% up. But, yeah, there you go. I'll go ahead and conclude our video here. Hope you enjoyed.